Hello everyone and welcome back to our YouTube workshops. So in this workshop we're going to be looking at Phad painting. Now in this Phad painting we are going to be learning about Kalyan Joshi's rendition of Lord Rama, an excerpt from his the Rooftop painting illustrated in the Phad style. So this painting you can find it in the Artventures of Phad Essentials. Now let's have a look at this book. So in this book, Artventures of Phad Essentials, it's basically a book that is perfect for beginners who are trying to look for a solid foundation in Phad art. So in this book, it covers all the designs, the motifs, and it helps you grasp the basics and progress to complete more complex compositions with ease. Now over here in the index, we can see the different categories that we have. We have about the artist, the visual inspirations, the borders and patterns, and the motifs. So over here we can see the color palette that is mostly used in the Phad style, and here we have a little information about Phad art. So mostly these Phad paintings, they were more of folk heroes or mythological deities, mostly from the Ramayana. And Phad paintings are traditionally massive. They go about from 5 feet to 35 feet in length. So with the base of this, it is made out of khadi cloth, and it is treated very intensively so that you can hold the color for longer durations. So this is the artist Kalyan Joshi. This book is about the Phad style and his paintings. These are some visual inspirations of the Phad style. So in this book we'll be mostly focusing on painting the Ram avatar, or the rendition of Lord Rama. Over here we can see how detailed and how intricate this style is. It follows a lot of solid coloring, so you have very plain colors, but the designs are so complex that it's very visually appealing. Over here we can see the borders and patterns that the style has to offer. So in this book we can see the borders over here, and we have a little space to train ourselves to try understanding or try practicing these borders or this art style. So we have a couple of borders over here which we can see, and in whichever border you are interested in, we have sufficient space to try and explore. And then you have some patterns which are also used in all of these paintings. So these patterns, it's not that all the patterns are used in one painting. Each painting has their own pattern which is unique to them. Now let's look at some of the Phad art motifs. So these motifs, they are inspired by the culture and the stories that were held. At the bottom you can see some did you know facts. Like, let's look at this one. So traditionally vegetable colors were used for Phad painting as they remained fresh for longer durations. If you want to know more Phad facts as well, you can have a look at this book. We have all the facts and did you knows down below over here. So we can see a lot of the motifs here. There are plenty of them. And over here you can see how we can draw in the Phad art style. So we have the basic shapes, and then how we can build on it and then create our character or create our motifs. Over here this is another one of the human figures, and we have many and so forth. So over here you can, let's see, over here we have a reference as well, and we can try to recreate it over here. So we have sufficient workspace. And over here we have a couple more. And in this workspace, we can try and explore the patterns that we had previously seen in the previous pages. We can try and color it in here. You can use your own patterns also if you want. We can explore, you know, we don't have to stick to the colors, the patterns that they only use. We can try to implement our interpretation of it as well in this Phad art style. And here you can practice some more borders. You have a symmetrical one where on this side it's already done, but on the other side you can replicate it over here. So this book provides a lot of information where you can learn very in depth also. Here we can recreate the story over here as well at the bottom. And in these creative creations, we can try to create our own story using the Phad art style. Okay, now we can get to the painting aspect of it. So for this painting, we are going to be drawing the rendition of Lord Rama. I'll keep my paper here. All right. So we can start off with the borders. Now for the borders, we can keep it relatively thin. As you can see on the reference to my left, we can keep the border very thin. So we'll start off over here. If your borders go slightly thin also, that is all right. You can rotate our paper. And draw the borders. Okay. Now what we can do, now we can start by drawing the main character of our story, Lord Rama. Now we can start off with the head over here. We can draw the head from this side, have the nose, just like that. And we can add a bit of a curve to the nose. For the mouth as well, we'll make it very curvy. So there are a lot of smooth lines over here. We do not have that many corners in this. All of the lines are, or all of the outlines are very fluid. Just like that. Now for the eye, we can take this down and we can elongate the eye a bit, about there. Wait, I can correct this. We can take this part a little higher and then bring it down like this. Okay, that looks perfect. And then we can draw the eye over here. We can have the eyebrows as well. over there. And then we can start with this throne-like shape. We can have the hair over here. We can curve this line a bit from the back of the ear. We'll try to keep our lines as smooth and natural as possible. Just like that. And then at the top we can have a slight flowery type drawing. Over here also. Then we can have this hair stick out over here. And inside we can have his earring dangling down. Say about that. Okay, we can extend this part here. And then we can move on to the neck also. Over here we'll get this right about there. And draw the shoulder here. We can draw the halo at the back as well. We can have it come around in this way. It does not have to be a perfect circle. You can just put in this here, connect this. And what we'll try to do while we're drawing this is to keep the lines, in one motion. We do not want, small lines over it. Okay. Over here we can have this come down here. We can do this shoulder as well. That looks good. And this will come down here. draw this arm. Okay. We can start drawing the hand. Now the hand also is done in a very basic way. You can have the fingers here and then drag this down. Okay, now we can add the arrows over here. For this design, what we can try to do is make a dome shape here. Then here we can have the arrows. For the arrows, I'll just make it very roughly so that when I then start to paint, I just need to know where the arrows are and then I can complete it with the painting. Over here we have a sort of an armband. And another circle here and then connect this down like that. Okay, looking good so far. We can move on to this hand. For this hand also we can make a silhouette first and then we can draw the fingers over here with the straight lines. Over here also there seems to be something tied to his hand. So if you look at all of these traditional paintings, every character has a lot of jewelry or a lot of design has been put on them. Over here we can have this cloth come like that. We can have his belt here. Okay, and this as well. We can we can draw the drapery now, or the arrow, sorry. We'll start with the bow over here. In this part here, we can bring this down this way. And this will be the ends of the shawl. He seems to be carrying a shawl around his neck. We can bring this part down also. Just like that. Oh, I almost missed out on this lotus over here. So we'll start with the middle one, and then we can start drawing the ones behind it. We can add this design here so that we don't forget about it later on. Okay. Okay, that became too long. That looks better. Okay, what we can do is we can take this line and we can extend it down. So this will be a part of his leg as well. So the shawl is behind his leg. So what we can see here is an outline of his leg. See, right up until here. Come down, just like that. Here we can add some more decoration to his feet, some type of anklets. Over here he's wearing shoes, so the design is going to be, the drawing for his feet is going to be rather simple. Draw this here. Have the foot and then the sole of the foot and take it up like that. Now we'll start with the center of this lotus. We can start drawing the petals. Right there. Okay, now almost done with the drawing part. Let's see if we've missed something out. And from the head, okay, the halo. We can draw this halo very lightly. We don't need to make it too dark. And then we can draw this here. And draw this here. Okay, so we don't have a bit of space here. That's okay. We can add one over here. Over here we have a writing. This is Ram Avatar. Okay, great. Now we can start with the painting. So let's have a closer look of the painting here. Okay. Now we can take a yellow color. And I'll put this yellow over here. And then we'll take a white color. You can place that here. So for this painting, I will be using acrylic paints, and I will be using different types of brushes. So I'll be using a flat brush, and for the outlines, I have different sizes of round brushes. Okay, so I'll wet my brush first. Take some white and mix it into this yellow. You can take a little more water and some more white. Okay. Now what we'll try doing is, let me see. Okay, I think we can add a bit more water to this because we want it to be a little smooth and slightly transparent. Like that. I feel that there is not enough water, So I'll take some water aside since we have a lot of paint. I'll mix this paint into the water rather than water into the paint. The difference being that when I say water into the paint, meaning that I have more paint and less water. But when I say paint into the water, that means I have more water and less paint. Like that. Now what we can do is we can flip the page as well. We'll try to do this in one stroke, or a long stroke basically. Just like that. You can flip the paper again. Add some more paint to this. Make sure you have enough paint, not too much, not too little. Paint in your brush. It's okay if it goes a little out of the border. Again, one tip I have been telling in all of my workshops is that whenever we try to draw a straight line in this sense, we should try and, or what would be helpful is if you hold your breath when you're doing so. So what that will do is it will reduce the movement in your hand. So now I'll take this. There you go. Now I can go over this one more time. Okay, we have our border ready. Now what we can do is the same color we can add inside as well. I think maybe we can lighten this up. Take a little bit more yellow. Now we can start coloring the inside parts. So over here, we can start with the large areas first. We can rotate our paper as well. Yeah, we've got this ready here. Can maybe add a little more water to this. We'll do the borders first. Very careful and very gently. Like that. And then now we can fill in every area that has yellow in it. Like that. Having a flat brush in this case is very helpful, because what it does is it helps you cover a lot more area. Just like this. In one stroke, you can easily cover a wide area. Okay, now we can do the bow over here. Now, as you can see, as compared to the bow, how wide this brush is. So instead of having it flat, I'll try keeping it at an angle. Okay. Need to buckle myself up. First cover this area here, and then put that there. Over here also I will first do this edge. Like that. Now if we see, we haven't drawn this area here, so we can always get back to our drawing and add it. Okay. Now we can take this yellow again. We'll try to be a bit careful here since this is a very narrow area. Now, if you need to, you can just use the corner of this brush. You don't have to use the entire surface of it. Like that. Now you can see me rotating the paper quite often. That's because in certain cases it is, you could say, necessary, so that you don't, mess up your lines or mess up the paint. And this also is too thick. So instead of going sideways, I'll just drag it down like that. And then here as well. Now we can flip this over, excuse me, and do the necklace. Let's have a look. Like that. Now over here as well. Now remember, with acrylic, it is easy to cover up a light color with a dark color, but it's not easy to cover a dark color with a light color. So in this area here of the bow, of the arrows, you can see the design here has yellow with black on top. So since yellow is lighter, I will cover this entire area with yellow first. I think we can go a bit higher as well. Like that. Retake our paint again. If you feel that your paint is drying, then you can always add more water to it. But if you do add water, make sure that it's not too watery also. You need some sort of thickness to it. It shouldn't just drip out of your brush. Over here also. Like that. You can cover this entire part, even though there is red. Since it is darker, it will be easy to cover it up with the red. over here also. Yeah. Once you get the right angle, you can just go down this way. Like that. Okay. Now we can see where else can we add this yellow. Like over here. On this bracelet. And on the anklets at the bottom. Anywhere else do we need? Let's do a quick check. Got the halo done, the crown, the earring, the arrow, the bow, necklace, armband, wrist. Over here, okay. Over here. There always is something missing. In this part there. And this part there, like that. Okay, I think that's all for the yellows, but what I'll do is I will keep the yellow aside still in case we do need to use it again. Now see over here, it is still paint, so I will take this and brush it upwards. But now the paint has gone into the bristles, so I will clean it up again. Press it down into the cup, take off any unnecessary water or excess water, and clean it just like that. Okay, now we can move on to the red color. So I'll take my red. I will take a good amount of red, and I will put it here. But I won't use this red just as it is. I will add a little bit of white to it, just a tiny bit, not too much. Take some water. Mix it up. Okay. Now we can paint the top of his outfit. Make sure your hands are clean before you hold your paper. We'll start with the bow. So if you see, it was a good thing that I kept my yellow. You can remove the excess paint that is there on the brush and then go over this again, so that whatever extra paint is there on this, I can take that out as well. Now again, like I said, I'm going to keep my yellow because I'm sure there is some other place which I missed out. And guess what? Not even 2 minutes in, I did not paint this area. Okay, now we'll take this red and do this area as well. We can rotate the canvas. Oh, actually, we can just paint this entire area red. But what I'll do is, since this red is pretty thick, I don't want to lose my drawing, I will keep a little bit of gap. Just so that I know where I can keep my, or where I can draw the outline. Okay. Like that. Over here, what I can do is I can take my thin brush, remove the excess paint, and paint that there. And since I already have paint on this brush, I will clear up the smaller areas, or at least the outlines. Okay, like that. Now I can take my flat brush and fill it up. Like that. Can do this area as well. Fill this up. Fill this up. Over here as well. Here, I think for this part we can use this thin brush. I'll keep this brush here. Take this thin brush. Like that. Over here. Over here. Yeah. And then here as well. Over here. Like that. Oh, there's this middle portion as well. Around the neck also. Over there. And then on the inner part of this halo, over there. Now we can add I think over here also we can add a little bit of red. Over there. Okay, now we can move on to the greens. Now for the green, what I'll do is I will take blue. It's sort of like a medium green, and I will mix it into this. So I think I can take a bit more blue. This green looks good. But before I start painting, I will add a bit of water to it. I feel that it's still a bit too thick. And then mix it up. Like that. And then over here as well. If I feel like at certain areas I shouldn't, do a long brush stroke, then what I can do is I can just tap it down this way in the corners. This will automatically give me a line, and then I can easily fill it up over here. And then here as well. And we can flip this to the side. Make sure there isn't too much paint also. like that. And over here I can okay, I can add the green here. So if you see this style of art, it has a lot of flat colors, but along with these flat colors you have a lot of texture to them, or a lot of designs done onto these flat colors. Over there as well. Over here we can add green. So if you look at this area here, the green is a lot more transparent. Transparent in the sense that you can see the paper below it. So we'll do the same over here, meaning we'll add more water to our paint. Like that. And then I can lighten this up a bit, maybe a little more. Just like that. So we can check again. We'll keep this brush here and come back to using my yellow again. This yellow never seems to leave me alone. There's always some place or another where I have to add this color. Okay, now we can do this part as well. Let's clean this brush, take some water and mix it in this. We want this a bit watery right now. So the more water you add, the more transparent it will get. But let's flip this and then we can try. Perfect. Now what I'll do is I'll take this again and go over it one last time. Okay, that should be about enough. And then I'll take this lighter green and go over it just once. So the whole point of this green over here is to show that he's standing in a field, or he's standing in a grassland type of area. So in my previous workshop I spoke about suggestive lines. So over here we're using the same concept but with colors, and it's sort of a suggestion that okay, he is standing inside or on a field of grass. It's a very subtle way, but the intention is there. I'll take this white brush again. Don't need that much water. I'll take some white here, a dot of red, maybe a little more, and a little bit of blue. Maybe that was a lot, so we can add a little more red into this. Take a bit of water, put it in. We add a bit more red to it. We want it slightly pinkish. Take a bit more white. Okay, that's good. I'll take a bit of water, mix it over here so I have that transparent kind of feel to this. Over here also. We can keep it like that. Same thing here. Here as well. Here also. Now if you see the reference image, the paper that is used, it is slightly tinted. It is slightly bluish in color. So they don't actually paint or give it a skin color, they leave it white. So over here we'll be doing the same thing, but we would be giving it an outline like that over here. Over here also. You see, it's a very soft, it's a very subtle color. Like that. And then we can make it a little thick and then give it one last final touch over here. Like that. Okay, now we can move on to the outline. I think we can just finish this area first. This one part, this part here as well. I'll take my smallest brush that I have, this one. Oh, this red. Take a bit of this red and do the line there. You can add a bit here also. A bit there. Okay. We can take our blue as well. We can do the background also. And over here, I'm going to take some more white. Lighten this up. Lighten it up in the sense we will make it a bit more transparent, meaning we will add more water to it. Just like this. And we can have it very roughly placed around it. Like that. Now we can take our black color or we can go back to our yellow again and we can fill in this area here. So if you see, I'm just keeping the brush straight and I'm moving my paper. So you can do it however you like. There are infinite number of techniques you can use. Like this one, I just came up on the spot. You can do whatever is convenient for you. Okay, now we'll do the black outline. I'll put this black here. Now what we can do also is we can take a rough sheet of paper before we start doing this and check whether our lines are coming as thin as we need. So now I feel that this thickness is okay. So we can start doing the outline. Like that. Take a black color again. Give him this outline. Here as well. like that. And then over here, you can connect this there. And you can fill this part up. Like that. Again, we'll try to have these lines in one smooth motion. You can do this part here. Now you'll start seeing the painting come more to life. Oh, okay, we can add green over here. Seem to have missed it, but you can always get back to it. Over here also, and then over here. Now you see these thin brushes. They may look small, but don't let that fool you. They hold a lot of paint. The reason why I say that is because you might try to go, or you might try to draw a very thin line, and the second you touch your paper, it will just blot. And you do not want that happening. Which is why now when I pick paint up again, I started with an area where I can have a thick stroke, so that I don't have to worry about the outlines of any other part of the painting getting ruined. I can start filling up this area here. Just like that. And you can do the shoulder as well. that. Then we can do this area here. I can start seeing the drawing fall into place. Just like that. Okay. We can draw this hand here. Like that. And then the forearm. We can do this green over here. I see there was a lot of water in my brush, so we can just take a tissue and wipe it off. Like that. Now we can move move back to doing the outlines. And do this here. We can draw the folds on this top over here. You can just do some quick strokes. And here we can add the textures or the design. over here also. It's a bit of zigzag over there. Bring this down straight like that. Over here. You can draw the legs. So this one would come from all the way top down to the bottom here. So one thing I've noticed about the Indian art styles is that they're very quick, they're very spontaneous with their lines. It gives it a very loose, a very fluid feel. It does not make the painting feel stiff in any sense. You can do the feet over here. Just like that. There seems to be some design on the shoe. Over here as well we can add this design here. Okay, we can do the halo. And then we can show the rays going outward. What I can do is I can just mark over here how I want the lines to be, and then I can start matching it. Like that. We can make this thicker also. Hmm. Over here, we can have the writing of the Hindi word Ram Avatar, just like that. You can give the lotus leaves an outline. And have some design here. Like that. We can then do the pants over here. Over here as well. Let's see if we are missing anything. Over here I can add this. Over here I can add a little bit more texture. Same thing here. Like that. Now what I'll do is I'll clean my brush, make sure all the black color is gone from this. And I'll take this green that is there right here, and make it very transparent. Remove a little bit of water. Add some dots over here as well. You can have it a bit random here also. So this won't be very visible, but you know that there is something put. You can do the same with this red color. Take some more water, mix it over here, make it very subtle. So it's a very decorative art style. I'll take this black. Darken this area here. And do the borders also. And when I do the borders, I'm not going to move my wrist. I'm going to move from my elbow like that. This will help us create a straight line. Same thing over here. Take some paint. And we should try not stopping in between, because if we do stop in between, then our lines can get a bit wobbly also. So over here I will once I start, I'll stop somewhere in the middle at least, like until as much space as I have on my table. I'll stop somewhere here, adjust my paper again, and I won't start exactly from this point. I'll start a bit from behind. Like that. So there you go, guys. That's the final work. Right. So thank you so much for being part of our live session every day at 12:30 and at 5 o'clock. We have all of our workshops happening. And every day we try to come up with new and innovative workshops. And you can have a look at our Artventures of Phad painting. So this is the essentials book, which is good for beginners, and then we have the elementary, which is good for kids who are interested in learning, and then we have the expert, which is for people who already do such artworks and want to upskill their work. So I hope you enjoyed today's live session. Thank you for watching.